Xbox Game Pass just missed the mark in an important way.
Can you feel it coming? Can you feel it? Unleash the power. Yeah. Unleash the power.
Welcome everybody and thank you for joining me. We have a few things to go over today, starting with a bit of bad news for Xbox Game Pass. It was reported earlier this week that Xbox Game Pass was close to reaching 30 million subscribers on their service, but newly released numbers now show that the growth for the service is short of the intended target. Microsoft every year as part of their quarterly earnings report release a bunch of numbers to their investors, and one of the numbers that they have to release is the subscriber growth for the service. Now the last official number that was made available for the service was 18 million in January, and since then Microsoft has set a new target, and unfortunately that target was not met within the company. As per VG247, Microsoft has not met its target for growing Xbox Game Pass membership numbers. The company has hoped for a massive 48% growth but fell short of just 37%. This is for the year ending June 30th, and according to Axios, the reason Microsoft set such a high target is that it was encouraged by the prior factual year's performance, where Game Pass subscriptions grew by 86%, which was above its 71% target. Microsoft has been pushing Xbox Game Pass heavily in recent months with discount expanded availability and through courting big and small developers to launch their games onto the service. This year we saw the release of Outriders and Back 4 Blood. Xbox Game Pass subscribers growth is also the only gaming metric on the payment plan for Microsoft executives. In other words, CEO Satya Nadella and others have missed out on the bonuses for underperforming. Though Microsoft no longer communicate hard numbers, it is believed that Game Pass currently has over 18 million members. Now there is obviously a bunch of things that needs to be taken into consideration here. The biggest one of them all is the fact that the service did grow by 37%. That is still 6.6 million new members in 12 months, which is an amazing growth. It might not be the 8.2 million that they were hoping for, but I would say that it is still pretty damn close, and with massive titles on the way, I do believe that we will see that number jump by a lot. Now another thing to take into consideration is obviously the fact that percentages becomes a lot more difficult to reach once the service exceeds a certain point. Growing from 1 million to 2 million is a 100% growth, even though you just added 1 million new members. Growing from 20 million to 30 million is a 33% growth, even though you grew by 10 million. The targets will become smaller as the numbers for Game Pass becomes bigger. Now one thing that I will add here is the same thing that I always say when talking about Xbox Game Pass and their numbers. I do not know how much it costs to do Xbox Game Pass, but I am willing to bet that it is a lot of money. When Jim Ryan of PlayStation say that a service like Game Pass is not sustainable, people like to mock him, but the truth is we still have no idea if Game Pass is going to be sustainable long term. If the numbers are to be believed, Game Pass makes anywhere between $2 and $4 billion a year. That is a massive amount of money, but when companies like Sony and Nintendo report 15 and $20 billion game revenue numbers, I'm sure people can understand why the Game Pass revenue is just not enough at this moment. Now I want to be clear, I do think that Game Pass is a great service and I would not be able to afford games on my Xbox without it. I do not think that the service is going to fail, and if anything I see this service growing massively in the future, but I also think that at this point they are not breaking even yet. As I have said earlier this week, great value and a great service does not mean a profitable service. What does it cost to maintain 24 studios, license EA Play, get third party games like Outriders and Back 4 Blood on the service day and day upgrade to Game Pass and lose out on $70 per game for big AAA titles like Halo Infinite and Forza Horizon and many more titles that is on the way. I think all of us as a whole should celebrate that Xbox is doing this, and as gaming fans root for the success of the service, as this will make gaming much more affordable for all of us. But we also need to be aware of what it takes to run a service like this. Understand that claiming the service as a success would be crazy without knowing anything about the finances, and that ultimately a lot of growth is still needed. For me personally, I do not want to go back to paying $70 for new games, so I do wish Xbox nothing but the best. I pay my $15 a month with a smile on my face, knowing that the value I get is the best in gaming, and I hope that Game Pass will continue to grow and be here for years to come. But on that note, this is where I'm going to end it. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you would like to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing, and as always, please remember to stay safe, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and I hope to see you again soon.